We are back with another BBR Draft League video. Today, I'm going to be going over my Week 7 Team Builder and match versus Kirby and his Winnipeg Blue Blastoise. Make sure you guys check out Kurt in the comment section, or in the description down below, sorry. And also check out all of the other coaches in the description. And if you haven't already, please, pretty please, with a big cherry on top, consider subscribing to the channel. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so it would mean the world to me. If you're new here, hello, I'm Obo. I like to make Pokemon content and Draft League stuff, so yeah, let's go ahead and let's just jump right into my matchup versus Kurt. If you don't remember, my team consists of Urshifu Single Strike, Iron Moth, Landorus Therian Form, Rotom Wash, Jirachi, Cyclizar, Brambleghast, Galvantula, Sneasel, and Florges. And then Kurt's team is going to consist of Gouging Fire, Iron Treads, Rillaboom, Azelf, Primarina, Muckalola, Urshifu Rapid Strike, Electrode, and Slowbro Galar. Now, Kurt didn't draft this team. Another coach did. They weren't a coach at the time, but they ended up replacing somebody. But Ant, it's whatever, drafted Kurt's team for him, and then they had a bunch of us goons draw them on like whatever it's called, Paint, whatever it's called, Microsoft Paint, and he had to guess. So I think I had Rillaboom. My Rillaboom was very good. It was horrible. I drew a Rillaboom very poorly, but yeah, let's just dive right into the matchup, guys. So let's first off talk about some of Kurt's threats, and Gouging Fire obviously is a big threat. Now, there's no sun with this Gouging Fire team, which kind of hinders Gouging Fire to an extent, but also this Gouging Fire can just run Choice Band, and it can just absolutely obliterate my team. Kurt could also run like a DD set with like Shuka for Landorus Therian, because my only real switch-in is Landorus. Like, it's my only switch-in. Other than that, I really don't see any other set other than Banded. I don't see any other set other than Banded. Like I said, it could maybe be DD with maybe Clear Amulet as well, which, if you don't know what that is, that's where it blocks the, makes it where your stats can't get lowered. So Intim would not work. Intimidate, that's the ability on Landorus Therian form. But I think this Pokemon is just going to be Choice Band. I think this Pokemon is just going to be Choice Band, because if you look at my team, my best switch-in is Lando, and I get 2 KO'd by Flare Blitz. So, yep, Gouging Fire, we have a very bad Gouging Fire matchup, but we will deal with it the best we can, and that is going to be offensively when you see my team. Next up, we're going to talk about Urshifu Rapid Strike form. So I have Urshifu Single Strike form, which probably should be banned, to be honest. It just does so much damage, but Urshifu Rapid Strike form gets very slept on. Like, this Pokemon is very good, and I feel like people don't draft it enough. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's a phenomenal Pokemon, and on this team, it makes it really hard for me to switch into the fighting / water type combo. I have Brambleghast, which can resist both, but then this Pokemon just click Ice Spinner and do 1,000,000%. So with Urshifu Rapid Strike, I think it could be a couple of sets. I'm expecting Banded or Scarf though. I don't expect setup at all with Trailblaze SD. I really think he's just gonna be Banded or Scarf. I think Banded just does a lot, because Banded, Adamant, Aqua Jet, Okos, and Iron Moth, right? It can also, like, Banded, Adamant, Surging Strikes does so much damage to everything. So I really don't see him being any other set other than maybe Banded Adamant, or which Adamant is like attack boosting, or Banded Jolly, or just Scarf Jolly, Scarf Adamant, whatever. I really don't see any other sets coming on this Urshifu, but it does force me to kind of pivot around and make him lock a move, because since I do have Brambleghast on my team, he cannot feel comfortable just locking CC, because I can go into my Rotom on the Surging Strikes, but if he CCs, then I can try to go Brambleghast, see what his item is, his item is. Jesus, I can't talk. Next, we're gonna talk about Primarina. I do not have a switch into Prim. I don't have a switch into Prim. This Pokemon just hits so hard with Moonblast and water coverage. The water spam just goes crazy into my team, because Brambleghast is shit weak and cannot take a hit. I love Brambleghast, but cannot take, like, it's gonna die to Specs Moonblast. And then it's gonna die to a Banded Ice Spinner from Urshifu. So like, it's like I can't switch into the types I'm supposed to resist. So Primarina can really run a couple of sets. John brought Scarf and Mox. But before we get any further, guys, I keep forgetting. I'm gonna shout out John, Central, Kigo, and Blazeman for mock support and prep support. They help me out week in and week out. So shout out to the boys. They helped me. I don't know what I would do without them with this prep sport, because I'm a very busy man and I can sometimes bring some bad teams. So they make sure to keep me in check. So but yeah, Prim just kind of demolishes my team. Well, let's go ahead and see what I am going to be bringing. First off, we are bringing Bandit Urshifu. We bring Bandit Urshifu a lot. This Pokemon just hits so hard. We're running max speed, max attack, Jolly Nature to speed tie the Urshifu Rapid Strike if it is also max speed. We have Sucker Punch, Close Combat, Wicked Blow, and U-Turn. We are just stabs plus U-Turn. This Bandit Sucker Punch does a lot of damage to everything. Bandit Close Combat basically picks up a KO. Wicked Blow does as well. U-Turn is just good for momentum. I'm not gonna lie, like, if it's not a defensive Primarina, that thing gets two-shotted. So, like, Urshifu just puts in so much damage. He really lacks a switch into this guy. Like, looking at his team, it's everything's weak to it or it gets to a KO. Like, Treads dies, Rillaboom dies, Azelf dies, Primarina 2-hit KO'd if it's not defensive. Muckalola 2-hit KO'd, Urshifu Rapid Strike dies, Electro dies, Slowbro Growler dies. Like, Urshifu Single Strike should not be allowed. This Pokemon is crazy. That's all I'm going to say about this guy. Bruno Fernandez, the captain, should put in work this week. Next, let's talk about Martinez with Rocky Helmet. We are a max Fizz Def variant for the Urshifu Rapid Strike. This is our kind of check to it with Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, Pain Split, Willow. Rocky Helmet is to try. This is also kind of a check to Gouging Fire. It just depends on how I play. Lando T should always be my switch into that guy, though. But we're Rocky Helmet to see what his item is on the Urshifu Rapid Strike. See, I also forgot to talk about he could be Punching Glove, which is where they are immune to like Rocky Helmet and shit like that. But they also get like a 1.3 times boost to punching moves, so Surging Strikes gets boosted. But Volt Switch is good for pivoting because his ground type is also weak, or his ground type is obviously weak to water, so I can Hydro Pump. Pain Split is to try to keep us healthy, and Will-O-Wisp can catch like Azelfs coming in, Primarinas even, Iron Tread switching in. Like, it's nice for a lot of his team. But this Pokemon is just kind of a defensive wall, trying to be defensive at least. Next we have a Choice Scarf Landers, max attack, max speed, Jolly, which is to outspeed the Gouging Fire, or I believe speed tie it if it is max speed. Yes, the speed tie it if it's max speed. I don't even want to play around with it. We're Earthquake, U-Turn, Fly, Stomping Tantrum. We're Stomping Tantrum because if he brings Rillaboom, grassy terrain obviously makes Earthquake like halved in its base power, so Stomping Tantrum is there because it does not get affected. Fly also is not that bad again this week. Oh, excuse me. So sorry. U-Turn is also good for momentum. We decided to go Scarf, trying to catch him off guard because Scarf doesn't even do that great, but it outspeeds a non-Scarf for true Rapid Strike. We do not die to a Aqua Jet. We can click Fly, ground type move, U-Turn, and this Pokemon is my dedicated switch into Gouging Fire. We could have went defensive, but then he was able to kind of just boost past us if he was a DD set or if he was like a breaking swipe set. I was originally Nasty Plot, Earth Power, like Sludge Wave and stuff, but the Scarf set just put in more work in Mox. I'm not gonna lie. We could not find a team for the longest time that could win in Mox, and this is the final team, so we will see how it goes in the battle. But this is a team that got me a dub in Mox, so True Scarf Lando just did the best in Mox. Next, this is going to be kind of a win con. Garnacho with Power Meteor Beam, Fiery Dance, Sludge Wave, Agility. I was sitting there and I was like, why can't Iron Moth hit Gouging Fire? And it can. It gets Meteor Beam. With Power Herb, it makes it to where Meteor Beam goes on its first turn. We are 252 attack, 224 speed, Jolly, or not Jolly, Timid, and we do the rest in defense. But if we get Agility up and a Meteor Beam, if it is not Aqua Jet or Urshifu Rapid Strike, we win. We win straight up, like straight up. Depending on when the Gouging Fire comes in on it, or if Gouging Fire is already dead. Garnacho is here to try to do as much damage as possible and just chip things away. Pretty simple Garnacho set. Next up, we're going to talk about Hoyland with the Cyclozar with Roselli Berry. Shout out John again for this set, man. Also, shout out to Cass for a little bit of prep help. He helped me with a little bit as well. I ended up not bringing some of the sets he suggested, but shout out Cass as well. Forgot to say that. But Psycho's Arch, John, we said this, we could not find a fucking way for me to win. And this was one of the ways to help get damage mid-game with Roselli Berry on the Psycho's Arch, Shift Gear, Power Whip, Double Edge, Dragon Claw. This Pokemon actually does great with Shift Gear. Shift Gear boosts your attack by 1, your speed by 2. Running 2-2 attack, 2-8 Jolly. We outspeed everything other than the Electrode. Obviously, Electrode is probably not going to come into my team. I have a Landorus, so I really don't see it coming ever. But we hit everything with this set. Power Whip is for... The goal with this set is, if it is a non-specs Primarina, I live in Moonblast with Roselia Berry. But the main thing is so I can set up on the Azelf. If the Azelf wants to click Dazzling Gleam, we can get a free Shift Gear off and then go from there. But hopefully, what I'm trying to do with this set is I send it in on the Azelf. This is what I did in Mox. I click Shift Gear on the Primarina coming in, and then I O-code with Power Whip, and then we went from there. I just did a lot of damage to everything. So I'm hoping with this Hoyland set works. Hoyland is going to be making its debut for us. So Big Psychos are finally coming off the bench. Lastly, we're going to be talking about Rashford the Brambleghast with Cobra Berry. We are max HP, max defense to try to fucking hope we can take on Earthly Rapid Strike. Where Leech Seed protects sub Power Whip, Leech Seed sub protect set. Very boring. Cobra Berry is for knockoff Iron Treads. The goal is just to Leech Seed sub and protect. It's a very boring set. This is almost just the sack. I did not have a 6th best Pokemon in my eyes, and this just kind of did the best. And also, if like Iron Treads or if the Gouging Fire comes in on it, I can just Leech Seed, I can protect, and then I can go into Landorus, or I can go hard Lando, and it does some damage at least. So that's going to be my week 17 versus Kurt. Your Pico United are going to be bringing Landorus, Therian Form, Brambleghast, Urshifu, Single Strike, Iron Moth, Cyclizar, and Rotom Wash. Make sure you guys tune into the battles coming up right now. What's up, guys? We are here in the battle for BBR Season 8, Week 7 versus Kurt. Make sure you guys check him out in the description down below. And check out all the other BBR coaches also in the description. I'm very nervous for this battle for like no reason, because I've practically locked playoffs. Make sure you guys check out the team builder that was before this. We are bringing some pretty cool stuff. I want to shout out John for a lot of the help, for a lot of the prep support, and also Kaz and Kigo, mock support from all of them as well. So, and also Central. We're leading off with our Cobra Berry Brambleghast. Now we see no Iron Treads and we see Rillaboom instead. This is what we assume would come minus Rillaboom. So go like a fun to Kurt, and let's get this week 7 W. If you guys haven't already, please hit that sub button. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so it would mean the world to me if you guys would hit that button. But I really want this W, guys. Really want this W. We see a Gouging Fire lead, so this is worst case scenario. We see no booster, so that's good to know. We're just going to go straight into our Landers and see what he decides to do, see if he is banded. He may just be choice banned. And if he is, he will be doing a lot of damage. But we're going to find out. We will find out. This Gouging Fire absolutely fucked me up in mocks. So the only mock it didn't do anything in was in the last mock me and John did, and we were like, hey, good enough. All right. I will say this matchup is very rough for me. I'm sure I talked about it in Team Builder, but we're gonna see how much damage this does. If we see a DD, it's not the end of the world. He could be like Clear Amulet DD. He is not Clear Amulet. We're going to see a Dragon Claw come off, and we go down to 187. That is probably choice banned. 187, we took 41% from a Dragon Claw. So he is indeed choice ban Jolly, probably. Looks like you got a low roll too. So in Mox, I always click ground type move here, but I think since he cannot 2-hit KO me, I'm going to click U-turn. Because we probably see the Rillaboom come out. Could also fly. Could also just click fly, because we do not see an Iron Treads. But I will say that might not be the best play, because he could just go out into the Prim, and that would not be the best for us. Fly would be pretty shiesty though. And he stays in, so we overplay. So in the mocks, I always click ground type move there, boys. So already going off script. Now we kind of have to go into our Rocky Helmet guy right here. That's really the only thing I can do. It's really the only thing I can do. He doesn't 2-hit KO me. So, we're about to find out what he decides to do. Should have just clicked ground type move. He just clicks Dragon Claw again. No crits, please. Down to 212. Maybe he's not banded? I don't know. He did a lot of damage to my Lando. So that's why I'm confused. That's why I'm confused. Maybe he's adamant. Not, I don't know. I can't figure out this set. We are going to get a Volt Switch off and just go back into the Lando. He's at -1. Oh, because he's at -1 attack, and I didn't factor that in. That's why on the road. We're just gonna get a Volt Switch off because we don't see a. This might just be like lead it and just try to get as many kills as possible. So we are not playing very well into it at all. Should have just clicked ground time move. So that's okay. That's what I get for overplaying. In mocks, I did not overplay. So no ground type though, so we get this Volt Switch off. He clicks Dragon Claw. He's gonna take Rocky Helmet, which is nice. And we probably just go back into Lando. And at this range, could we also just go Bandit Urshifu, right? Couldn't we also just go Bandit Urshifu? But I think at that point, we have to click U-turn, and then it's like, if he goes into Prim, what do I do? If he goes into Prim, I have to go Bramblegast. So I think I'm actually going to go Urshifu here. He's at -1 attack. Let's go. I think I'm just gonna go Urshifu and figure out what that Prim set is. I could just go Landorus and then click Earthquake. Because if he goes into Azelf, if I go into what, Bramblegast. So, but I feel like I'm just letting my guys get chipped down too much. So I think I'm actually gonna go into Bruno Fernandes. I guess here, right? He's below half. If he's max HP, I still kill with Wicked Blow. If he goes Primarina, my best bet here is just close combat, actually. So, that's what I'm going to do, because I don't see him going anything else. That's really the only thing that makes sense, and he might just give me this guy. He's going to switch out now. Really don't... I mean, like, he was just playing into me overplaying. So, good play on Kurt's part, but I don't know why he would risk that. You know what I mean? So, quick close combat. We're going to see what his set is on this. Oh my god, is that a crit? Was that a crit? Was that a crit? It was not a crit. I have to not stay in here because he may be Choice Scarf. And I cannot risk that. John brought Choice Scarf. So, he's going to click Moonblast here. I think I make the aggressive switch and go into my fucking one guy, my Iron Moth. I don't think he ever clicks Surf here. Let's see if at -1 Spadef I die to a Choice Specs Surf. I do. So I can't risk it. I can't go hard on Iron Moth. So I have to go into my Bramblegast. If he's Scarf, then we will find out by this damage. But I can't risk it. I can't risk it. I think he's going to try to get me. Like, it was just a one-off thing. If he, like, flip turns here, then good play on Kurt's part. He clicks Moonblast, so I could have, man. Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! So he is looking like he's Scarf. Right? Hold on. I'm at 51%. I'm at 16. It says Modest. It does 71 to 84. Can I do math? 16%. He had to get a max roll then. So I think he might just be Choice Specs, which he was just going to give me that Pokemon then. No, Specs killed me if he was Modest. See, this is tough. I basically just have to give my Bramblegast away if he is the one set. So I'm going to click
Power Whip calling he's not Scarf. If he switches, then he's obviously not Scarf. So he switches. I could have Leech Seeded there. I'm just confused by the damage on a lot of these guys. Leech Seed was definitely the play there. He's probably going to try to get a Morning Sun off here. If he's not banded. Lando lives any hit. I go Lando. He could just hard Flare Blitz here, trying to get the Lando now. I think I go into my Rotom, but then Rotom kind of just dies to a Dragon Claw. So I'm put in a really tough situation here. He could Dragon Claw, covering the Rotom, but I think he knows my Lando is not in range. So I think I have to go into my Rotom calling the Flare Blitz. So he takes Recoil and the Rocky Helmet. It's looking like I'm gonna lose the Urshifu type game. That's what it's looking like, to be honest. Just based off of how I played in the beginning of the game, I did not set myself up at all. So we're gonna see what he clicks here. If he clicks Dragon Claw, he got me, but I really don't see how you can click Dragon Claw here because my Lando always lives based off the damage. And he clicks Raging Fury. I don't know how much damage that does. Doesn't kill me. Cool. So I kind of have to just sack Rotom and then go back into Urshifu because he has no switch into it. There's no point keeping this around at this point. I played this month very poorly. I guess I could keep it around and try to Pain Split up on a Muck or a Prim. Well, Prim's already kind of low. But this is just like Rillaboom fodder. Like, I guess it lets me find out what the item is on the Urshifu, but I really don't have a switch into this anyways. Like, I could sack the Rashford as well. I think the best option, it might be just to sack the Rashford at this point, right? Because my Bramblghast's usage is pretty low at this point. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So then at least we can have the Rotom Washer switch in on a... So if I was going to do that in the first place, why didn't I just go into it? See, I'm all discombobulated. I guess we couldn't risk it, but we could have just done this in the first place and not let the Rotom Wash take a fucking 1,000,000%. We're going to go Urshifu here and practically just claim a KO. If he sacks this and then goes back into the Prim, I don't know what his set is. I cannot tell. This is a pretty free... I could Wicked Blow, but it's like, if I Wicked Blow and he goes Muck, I do like 42 to 49 if he's max HP. If I close combat, I 2-hit KO. I almost fucking OHKO. So I think I'm going to close combat here. If he goes Azelf, I still do 1,000,000% as well. So BCC here. So we are just going to kill the Gouging Fire. Cool. We get a kill. Very nice. Very nice. But we are not playing the greatest. We are not playing the greatest, to say the least. Dies to Urshifu. He didn't show an item, but he's banded, right? If I would have just clicked Earthquake turn 1, I had a chance to kill. So, or turn 2 or whatever. Big misplay on my part. Big misplay on my part. But what can you do except move on, right? So we're going to see what he goes into here. He could go Azelf, which at this point I don't deal with very well at all. I'm kind of forced to sack something and then go Cyclozar and try to set up with Shift Gear, which doesn't look horrible at this point in the game. He goes into Lucifer. That is not scary at all. And it is the Azelf. So he's obviously going to Degleam here. I cannot go Iron Moth. He could also get Rocks up. I am Scarf Lando. If he Psychics, I die. So I don't think I can risk that. Because Scarf Lando holds some merit, right? I want to keep around my Rotom to see see what the Urshifu set is, but I think this has to be my sack, unfortunately. I think this has to be my sack, unfortunately. And if he gets Rocks up, then he made a good play, and then he can just kill me the next turn. But I really don't know what else to do at this point. Like, I think I have to sack the Rotom. I can't go hard Iron Moth because he can just Psychic the next turn. I cannot go Hoyland my cycles are. I can't just stay in. I can't go Lando. So I have to go Rotom. See what he decides to do. He could just click D-Gleam. He could just click Psychic. D-Gleam into Energy Ball would obviously kill me here. Well, I was thinking Foxiful. So he does just D-Gleam. So what do we do here now? We go into Cyclozar and we click Shift Gear. After Rocks, yeah, Healing does 49 to 58. We go into Cyclozar and we click Shift Gear. If he pivots out, that is good news for us. I think that's really the only thing we can do here at this point. We could also go Scarf Lando. Scarf Landorus does 76 to 90 with U-turn, but then we don't have anything to U-turn, like, switch into. Like, we could go Hard Moth, but then he just clicks Psychic move the next turn. So we're going to go into this, and we Shift Gear up. We Shift Gear up. His switch-in might just be to sack Prim, because Prim doesn't hold much merit. So we are going to just Shift Gear. He could also click something. He could just click D-Gleam here, but I think we just Shift Gear up on this thing. The thing that sucks is I die to recoil the next turn if he stays in. So we click Shift Gear. I'm hoping he just goes Prim, right? I'm hoping he just goes Prim, but Kurt is a good player. I sent in on this. He might think I'm just choice banded. He switches. What does he go into? What does he go into is the question. It is temporary. Is this the Muckalola? It is the Prim. So he is just going to sack the Prim. So we get the Shift Gear off. Nice. Primarina. I could click Double Edge here, but I'm going to take Recoil. Do I take that over missing a Power Whip? I think I do. I think I kind of have to. He is at around 45, or let's just say 40%. I'm only going to take 4% of recoil, I think. Nope, I did the wrong thing. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm going to take 14% of recoil. He then goes into what? Urshifu? No. He then would go into probably the Muckalola. Does that put me in range? I don't think it puts me in range of anything. Maybe an Ice Punch, but we click Double Edge here so we don't risk a miss. So we get the kill. I just did not want to miss that because that would have been horrible and I would have been in a really bad spot already. I'm already in a bad spot, so dies to Cyclozar. Big Cyclozar getting a big kill. Making his debut. Brother's been on the bench since I got him. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm playing the way I am, but kills. So he goes into this, right? I don't think I have an opportunity to set up again. So I think I had to just click. I could click Dragon Claw. I could also Shift Gear up again and go to +2, but then I think I'm in range of like Rillaboom and all that stuff. So I'm also going to take Recoil here. But I think I do that. I could switch out and preserve this, but I really don't see what my best switch is here. So I'm gonna Double Edge here. Do I set up on anything else? I don't think it's worth it. I mean, it might be. This is kind of. I'm regen, so I go back to full health. I think I might save something. I might go Landorus, but he could also Ice Punch. I could go hard Urshifu. But if he knocks off, I think I'm just going to click Double Edge here. This might be a misplay. I'm probably could have just went into my Urshifu. Oh my god, we get a crit. Holy shit, we get a crit. Hey, glad I stayed in there, man. Glad I stayed in there. Hey, winners win. I'm probably still going to lose this game. Not going to lie. But, oh, I'm so sorry, Kirby. I'm so sorry. He goes into this. This probably kills me. Like, I probably die to this, right? Grassy Glide does 45 to 53. I'm at 105. I'm gonna switch out now and get my regen. I'm gonna go Iron Moth. If he's not banded, If he's not banded, he does 30 to 35, so that's admin as well. I think I keep this around. If he Scarf Urshifu, it doesn't matter. Do I keep this around? I think I do. I'm going to go Iron Moth. We're going to see what he does. This might be a fucking misplay. This might be a horrible misplay. We will find out if he is Choice Band or not. If he calls this shit and he called my bluff, then good shit, Kirby. He clicked Grassy Glide. He does. Takes me down to 237. So he did 21%. It looks like it is banned, but it's not adamant. Yeah. So here, I think I die to an Aqua Jet from the Urshifu, right? But I think what I do here is I click Agility and then I click Meteor Beam. But I don't actually... Do I not just Meteor Beam on the switch here? If he goes hard into the Urshifu, right? Then good play, Kurt. I think Azelf lives any hit. I think I Meteor Beam here. This might be a throw. I'm clicking it. If we see Azelf come out, this should die. It is going to be the Azelf. If we hit, this thing should die. It could be Sash. We click Meteor Beam. Please hit. Azelf. Or I don't deserve the hit, but I would like to hit, right? Please, Garnacho, please, I'm begging you. So we hit. This should drop. It does drop. Nice. So this dies to Iron Moth. The thing is, I think I could still lose this game, unfortunately. Depending on what the Urshifu set is. Right? So, with what pieces we have left, so he goes into this. If he outspeeds me, or he kind of has to lock a move here. If he's Scarf or whatever, I'm at 91%, right? If he's banded Adamant, Aqua Jet kills me. If he's banded Jolly, it also kills me. If he is Choice Scarf, he locks a move. He locks Surging Strikes. I go Urshifu and I outspeed if he's Adamant. If he's not Adamant, I live, I believe. Am I at full? I do. Also have a Cyclozar in the back, but I do live a Grassy Glide now. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to click Sludge Wave. I mean, do I lose to Rillaboom? I don't think I lose to Rillaboom. I think my Choice Scarf Landorus into Sucker Punch also. Let me see how much a Rillaboom does to my Lando. 42 to 50. I think I'm okay with just clicking Sludge Wave here. Let's see what he locks. I outspeed. Does this just drop? Let's go! Let's go! Oh my god, I got so fucking lucky. Guys, I got so fucking lucky. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm so sorry, Kurt. This commentary was really bad, guys, too. I apologize. I was very nervous for this game. Kurt has been getting hacked a little bit, but that's very important. I'm sorry, Kurt. I'm sorry, man. Did not deserve this win, to say the least. But we are going to win. We move to 6-1. Yormo Pico United pull it out of their ass. We somehow win this game. I'm at a loss for words. I apologize, Kurt. I mean, I can't help hacks, but like that does suck. But GG to Kurt, man. Again, I'm sorry. I've said I'm sorry like 9 times, but I am sorry. Did not want to do one of my boys like that. The big three is the big three for a reason, guys. We beat the allegations of being washed. Make sure you guys tune in to next week's game and see if we can go 7-1. But that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Catch you guys later.